Welcome back, guys. In the last session we have learned how to add the background image to the web page, right? So we have learned some properties called background color, background image, background repeat, and background attachment, as well as background size guide. So now I want to apply, okay, so background image to the paragraph, guys. Okay, so let me delete this. So this is the background image which we applied to the web page, right? So let me go to the source code. So I'll delete all the stuff which is present inside the body, right? So now I delete it. So now let me save this. Okay, so see, only the background image is there now. So now I will add some paragraph, guys. I'll add some paragraph. Okay, so I'll delete this. Done. So to the paragraph, whatever I have added here, it is empty paragraph, right? So I want to add something called JavaScript. I will add in between this. So if you reload the page, so JavaScript is there. So now for this paragraph, I want to apply background image. So I use P tag. So P means what? Paragraph. So I want to apply background image. First I'll go with what? Background color. Done. So I'll go with what? Background color. Okay, so it is going to apply the background color only to the paragraph. See, it's applied. So I don't want background color now, so I want background image. So before that, let me increase the height and width of this paragraph. Height I'll make this as 300px, and width I will pass. Okay, so width is 100% of this width. So save this and reload the page here. See, we have increased. Okay, so paragraph tag, save this. I'm using 100%. Okay, height 300px. I forgot to pass 300px, right? So now observe here. So we have increased the width of this paragraph. Clear? So now we have added, okay, one paragraph, and we have increased the width and height. So sir, I want to apply background image, so I'll go here, background, okay, image I will pass, URL I'll use. So in between this, I'll go to Pixabay website, you know, right? The Pixabay website, I'll go here, I'll copy some image, any image I want to copy, I'll copy this. Okay, so consider I'm going to copy this image. I want to make this image as a background to the paragraph, only to the paragraph, so I'll paste here. So if you reload the page here, guys, the background image is applied, but it's repeating multiple times here, right? So first we will see how to avoid this. Okay, so first, if you want to avoid, what we use here, background repeat, no repeat, we will pass. So the image is repeating only one time. See, the image is repeating only one time. Now I want to fix this image first. Okay, I don't want to scroll this image. See, when you scroll the page, for example, let me add some paragraphs. Okay, so I'll add some h1 tags here. So h1 into 200, I'll pass angular. So 200 h1 tags I'm creating here. So observe here, guys. So if I scroll here, the background image of this paragraph is also scrolling, yes or no? So to avoid this, what I should do, I should use, okay, background attachment fixed. Yes, observe now. So reload the page. See, it's fixed to the paragraph. Don't think, see guys, it's not a background image, it's scrolling here, right? See, it's fixed here. Done. So now I will pass background size. Okay, background size. So here I will pass 100% width. So it is going to occupy the 100% width of the paragraph. Okay, as well as if I pass 100% height, 100% height. Okay, so now it is going to occupy the 100% height of the paragraph. So what is the 100% height of paragraph means here? The height of the paragraph is 300px. So 100% if you pass, it is going to occupy the whole 300 pixels of height of this paragraph. It depends on the height of your paragraph. So if you pass 400 px, it is going to occupy 400 px of space. See, it's occupied the 400 px of space. See, the full image we have now. Then the same image whatever we have, but guys observe here, it's not displaying properly, right? See, the full image is not visible here. Is it visible, the full image here? We are getting the half image here. So observe here, okay, how to avoid this. Concentrate. So we have passed background attachment, okay, fixed, right? So let me pass this, okay. So now after this I'll paste fixed and reload, okay. So still the image is not coming. So let me check, guys, okay. Let me check here. So background size we have passed, okay, width we have passed. So let me pass the width here, okay. Now let me pass background size 100%, repeat, no repeat. So we have passed the URL. Wait guys, let me check once. Okay guys, in this scenario you just comment, okay, just comment background attachment fixed, because we are not applying to the whole web page, right? Just we are applying to the paragraph tag. So you will just comment, okay, or else don't use this background attachment for other purpose, okay. So always we use for one body tag. When we use body, you should use background attachment. Why means we should not scroll the background image along with the content. So here I'm okay, that is why we used background attachment fixed. Now here you don't use, okay, no, don't use here. So observe here, now reload the page, we are getting the full image. See, the full image we have, the full image we are getting in our web page. Done. So understood guys, just we are applying to the paragraph tag. So in the same way we can apply, guys, okay. So similarly we have something called, see, this is about the background images, okay. So now observe here guys. So what I do, let me comment all this stuff here. Just concentrate guys, all this stuff I'll comment. I want to add multiple colors, so I'll use here background image. Instead of URL, I'll go with linear gradient. So linear gradient means, linear means line by line, gradient means multiple colors. So it is going to accept multiple colors here, red, comma, pink, comma, yellow, comma, orange, okay. So like this it is going to accept, see this linear gradient is going to accept multiple colors. You can pass n number of colors. So linear means line by line, gradient means multiple colors. You should use what, background image, if you want to apply multiple colors. So observe here, it is going to applicable, see, multiple colors are applied here, yes or no. So we have not passed height here, so let me pass height here. So when I pass height, so 400px will come to know how it's applied here, okay. See, the multiple colors applied here. Done. So if you pass green also, you will get green color also. See, if you want the green also, you can pass green here to save this. So you will get a green shade here, yes or no. So multiple colors you are getting. See, linear means line by line you are getting multiple colors. Similarly guys, if you don't want line by line, or sir I want circular way, sir, so just change this linear to radial gradient. So now you will get in circular way, guys. See, in circular way, radial means what, circular way you are getting the colors. So where we use this actually linear and radial gradient, observe here guys, okay. So let me just remember this linear and radial gradient, why we use, to apply multiple colors, okay, to the background, clear. So now where we use this actually in real time application, see here we have one big image, right, and the image little bit it is having, okay, black color shade on the image. See, if you observe, the black color shade is there on this image. Done. So now how to apply this black color shade? So what I do, we have understood why we use this to linear gradient and radial gradient. So now I'll delete this also. Done. So now let me uncomment this. I'll uncomment this. So now concentrate here guys. So now this is my output, right? This is my output. Now I want to apply some shade on this. Okay, so here only background image I will pass linear gradient. Done. So linear gradient I will pass. Okay, so I will pass red comma yellow comma green color. I will pass green color shade I want to apply. So now observe here, if you pass like this, it's applying the background color, multiple background colors, red, yellow and green. So I don't want to look like this, I want to make this, it should be visible, the background image should be visible through these colors. For example like this, see it's visible, the background image is visible through some black color shade, right? So same way I want to display this. So guys, we go for some value. See, instead of going for color names, we go for color codes. So how to go to color code? Just hover on the color, so just you place your cursor on color name. Okay, just place your cursor on color name. Here something called RGB, click on that. Okay, so until and unless you get RGB, click on that. See, similarly here also RGB, you click on that. Then here also you go to this color RGB, when you will get, click on that. Done. So we got RGB colors, same colors, no changes will be there guys. So RGB is nothing but it is a standard colors guys. So R means red, G means green, B means blue. Okay, so it is having the first value belongs to red, second value belongs to R, third value belongs to first value belongs to R, second value belongs to G, third value belongs to B. So this is R, G, B. Okay, so why we use color codes guys? We can't able to remember the color names. Okay, we can't able to remember the color names because there are 16 millions of colors. There are how many colors? Totally 16 millions of colors. So we can't able to remember the color names here. That is why we don't go with color names, we go with color codes. So we have standard 3 colors RGB. With the help of those colors only we can create different colors guys. Now if you observe here, so RGB we have used, still there is no changes. Okay, still there is no changes. Along with RGB guys, there is something called A, RGBA. So A is nothing but alpha guys. What is A? Alpha. So why we use this alpha value? See, observe here, by default alpha value is 1. Okay, so I am passing the fourth parameter for this alpha value as 1 guys. By default alpha value as 1. So after passing alpha value, observe here, after passing alpha value, still there are no changes here. Then, so why means when you pass alpha as 1, it's a default one, same color will be there, whatever the color is there, the same color it will display. Now I want to change the alpha value. You can change 0.12, maximum is 1, minimum is 0.1. So now I will change here, 0.4, alpha value I am making it as 0.4. Here also I will pass 0.4. You can pass 0.1 to 0.9, 0.9 like that you can pass. Here also I will pass 0.4. So now save this. So what will happen when you pass the alpha value as 0 point something, it will create a transparency on your color. So your image will be visible through this color. See, here we are getting some red color shade in between green color, yellow color shade, then here green color shade. So we are applying some transparency on the color. So when we use linear gradient, I think everyone understood, right? So sir, if you want black shade, so you can go with everything. If you make this as 0, everything if you make this as 0, everything is 0 means it's a black color guys. Everything is 0 means it's a black color. So I'll go here, I'll make this as 0. Here also I'll make this as 0. So it is going to apply black color shade on your image. See, the same thing they have used guys, the black color little bit shade is there. So sir, why this is looking like this, our image is looking like this? So if you can increase, little bit alpha value you increase, So I will select all the values here, and I will make this a 0.8 here, all the alpha value 0.8. Observe here now. See how it's looking, little bit shade I added. So if you don't want, make this as alpha value 0.2. So now you will get here, see little bit of shade here. Clear guys? So I hope everyone understood. So please practice this, you will understand. Linear gradient, why we use linear gradient or radial gradient? To make, apply transparency on the images, to apply transparency on the colors. So what will happen, through the colors our background image will be visible. So remember this, watch the video again and again until and unless you understand. Clear guys? So guys, I hope everyone understood this one. So now, no need to use this background position guys. So it will fix if you use background size as well as background attachment. In that only we can apply a proper background image. Done. So now this is all about the background image guys. So now we will go to something called very important concept in CSS, that is selectors. Done. So guys, what do we mean by selectors? This is very important concept. You should remember, hook and crook, you should learn this. So the CSS, 50% of CSS depends on this concept, selectors, right? So selectors means what? Concentrate clearly, right? So I'll go to my web page here, right? So I'll be having multiple tags. For example, I am having here paragraph tag. Similarly, I'll be having h1 tag. So here also I'll pass angular. Then next here I'll pass something called marquee tag. Then here I'll pass what? Marquee tag. Then so here I'll pass something called JavaScript. Then I will pass something called anchor tag. So I will pass here something called angular again. Done. So now I will pass something called img tag. So I will add some image woman.jpg. So guys, in our HTML file we have multiple types of tags. SRM paragraph type of tag, h1 type of tag, marquee type of tag, anchor type of tag, image type of tag. So now how to select the elements based on some categories. Done. So selectors is nothing but, see, we have different types of tag. Whenever we have different types of tag, if it is a website means, if it is a HTML file means, we can have multiple types of tags. So how to select the tags, multiple types of tags. So guys, selectors is very important concept. Please observe and watch it again and again, this concept. Then so in selectors, in CSS, selectors are patterns used to select the elements you want to style. So what we are doing, whichever the element I want to style, only those elements I am selecting and I am applying CSS properties. Selectors is nothing but what? Selecting the HTML elements whichever we want to style and applying the CSS properties to it. Okay. So selectors are used to select an HTML elements, it by name, ID, class, etc. How to select guys? With the help of tag name we can select, with the help of ID names, with the help of class names. We will see one by one. So these are some types of selectors, very important selectors, that is element selector, group selector, class selector, ID selector and universal selector. So in interview, mandatory, they'll ask you these questions. What do you mean by selectors? Mandatory, 100% you will be having this question. Then, so one by one we will see what is the syntax of these selectors and how to use these selectors and what are the types of selectors we will see in next slide. So concentrate guys here. So syntax of the selector. Then, so the selector name. So it can be any selector guys. We have some types of selector, right? So it can be any type of selector. Then it can be any type of selector. Then, and here we are passing the selector. I will tell you different types of selectors. What is the selectors? Then any type of selector, space, curly bracket, CSS property name and the value. CSS property name, value, same thing you should pass. This is the syntax of selector. Like this you can pass, or else we have used, right? So So like this also you can pass this. See, like this also you can pass. The same way, see, this is selector name, okay, curly brackets, CSS properties, like this also you can pass. The good practice is this one, guys. In this way we have to pass the CSS properties, right? So the same thing they have given here in this slide. Then, so now we will move to the first selector called element selector. So the element selector selects the HTML element by name, okay. So what it does, it selects the element selector means what? It selects the HTML element with the help of tag name. For example, I want to select only paragraph tags, I want to select only the anchor tags, I want to select only the image tags. Then it selects only, okay, the elements based on what? Tag names. See, element selector selects only one type of element. So only one type of element means if you pass here P paragraph, it selects only paragraph types of elements. It is not going to select any other type of elements. So here syntax is same thing, guys. This is my P is my what? Element name. So the element name can be anything. It can be paragraph, it can be image, it can be marquee, it can be h1, any name, okay. So now inside curly bracket color, see, this is my CSS property, guys. Then blue is my value here, and it is a single element we are selecting. So whenever we select single element, okay, we call this as element selector, guys. So whenever we select a single element, we call this as an element selector. For example, observe here. So let me delete this, okay, delete this. So here also I'll type control, okay. So I'll give 5 paragraphs here. So here I'll pass Java script, right? I'll pass here JavaScript, sorry, Java. So I need to use curly brackets, Java script, curly brackets to add the content. I have explained in last video, right? JavaScript added. So let me give JavaScript 1, okay. Then I'll pass JavaScript 2, then I'll pass here JavaScript 3, then I'll pass here JavaScript 4, then I'll pass JavaScript 5. Then, so now what will happen here? So I will create one HR tag here, okay. So I'll make this as HR. Next I'll pass h1 into 5. So here I'll pass angular, okay, angular 1 5 h1 tags I created. I'll change 2, then 3, then here I'll pass 4, then here I'll pass 5. Next I'll pass here HR tag. Again I'll pass some anchor tags, okay. A into 5, here I'll pass something called, okay, HTML CSS1. Then see, I created some anchor tags also here. Concentrate clearly, guys, okay. So here I'll make this as CSS2, then here I'll make this as a 3, then here I'll make this as 4, then I'll make this as 5, okay. Save this, and this is my output. If you observe the browser, so this is my output, guys. Yes or no? So this is, I should save here. I saved the C. Why means previously we used something now for all the paragraphs which is applying the background image. That's all. So reload the page. Now this is our output, guys. We have some paragraphs, we have some h1 tags, and we have some anchor tags in our web page. So now I want to select only paragraph tag, so I will select paragraph tag, okay. So I will apply some color, background color, okay, pink color I'll apply. So now what will happen when you apply pink color? See, it is applicable only to the paragraph tags. It is not applicable to the h1 tags. So that means whenever we select only one type of element, we call this as what? Element selector, okay. Whenever we select only one type of element, we call this as what type of selector? Element selector. So element selector means what? It selects only one type of element. Now it is selecting only paragraph type of elements, right? So whenever we select only one type of element is known as element selector. Remember this, okay? Whenever we select only one type of element, we call this as element selector. Then Similarly guys, okay, if you observe here, concentrate here, then sir, same color I want to apply to the h1 tags also, sir. What I do here, I will go here, I will pass h1, okay. So here I will pass background color, okay, background color pink I will pass, then background color pink. So save this and reload the page. So the background color applied to h1 also. So concentrate guys, here also you are selecting only one type of element, here also you are selecting only one type of element, here you are selecting only h1 type of elements. So whenever we select only one type of element, we call this as element selector. Done. So remember, when we select only one type of element, we call this as element selector. Sir, what is this element selector, sir? Okay, so when we select only one type of elements, we call this as element selector. Now I hope everyone understood this one, right? So now observe here guys, see, same property we are repeating two times. Yes or no? Same property we are repeating two times. So we should not repeat the properties. It's a donkey work guys, okay. Any property we should not repeat multiple times. If you want to apply the same property to different tags, we should not repeat. Then so it's a donkey work. So remember, we should not repeat the properties more, and when we select only one type of element, we call this as element selector. Both are element selectors. Now sir, the same code why should I repeat, sir? So what I do, after this paragraph tag I will pass comma, I will pass h1 here. Then so save this, the same color will be there for h1 as well as paragraph. Now what I am doing here, we are selecting more than one type of element and we are applying the CSS properties. So when we select only one type of element, we call this as what? Element selector. When we select more than one type of element, we call this as group selector. So here we are selecting only, okay, so two types of elements, right? That means more than one type of element. So if I pass C, for anchor tag there is no background color pink, I will provide comma and A. So A means anchor tag, so the background color will be applicable to anchor tags also. See, apply. That means guys, whenever we select more than one type of element, we call this as what? Group selector. The same thing I have explained in, okay, this slide here. See, group selector means what? Used to select all the elements. Then group selector is used to minimize the code. See, we can minimize the code. Instead of writing background color pink for h1, for anchor tag, for paragraph tag again and again, directly we can go with what? Group selector. Then similarly here also they are passing cp, h1, d. So they are applying blue color, okay. Here it is an elements name. So see, observe here, it is elements name. Elements means it is plural, right? So now CSS property, blue color, here multiple elements you can pass. So whenever we select more than one element, we call this as group selector, guys. Okay. I hope you guys understood what is element selector and what is a group selector, right? So now we will move to one more selector here. So class selector. So very important, guys. Okay. So I'll tell you first. I'll explain here. Okay. So this is what? Group selector, right? This is becomes element selector. Why we are selecting only one type of element, right? So now save this and reload the page. See, it's selecting only paragraph. Sir, I don't want to apply background color to all the paragraphs, sir. If I use element selector, it is applicable to all the paragraphs. So for some paragraphs, okay, I want to apply like this style, okay. So background color I'll pass hot pink. Then so for this not hot pink, I'll make this as red. Then so here also for this fourth JavaScript paragraph, I want to apply style, okay, background color, here I'll pass red. Then so here also I will pass style, background color, red, only to this paragraph, okay. Only to these three paragraphs I want to apply background color, guys. So how to select only these three paragraphs? See, observe here, if you reload, the background color applied only to these three paragraphs. So how to select? Okay, only these three paragraphs. If we use element selector, it selects all the paragraphs. And we are using inline CSS here, yes or no? So I have told you we should not use inline CSS more. So as well as, okay, the same property we are repeating multiple times. So it is a donkey work. So what I do, observe here guys, we go for class selector. What do you mean by class selector? So P, okay, P dot, so P is my tag name, dot indicates, okay, the class selector. Dot indicates what? Class selector. And the class name I will pass the class name as, okay, I will pass the class name as fish. So whatever the name you want, you can pass this. The class name can be any name. You can pass your name also, okay, any name you can pass. So now here I will pass, okay, p dot fish. Done. So p dot fish I will pass here. So now here I will apply background color, okay. I'll apply background color red guys. So save this. So P is my tag name, you can use any tag, okay. Dot indicates class selector, fish is my class name. Done. So now observe here, let me delete this, okay, let me remove everything here. So we should not use like this because we are repeating the same property multiple times and we are using inline CSS. So now this is my output guys. Now only to these three paragraphs I want to select. How to select only these three paragraphs? So now there is no color guys. After passing this class selector also, there is no effect on paragraphs. Now how to use this class? Observe here, the class name is what? Fish, right? So the fish is the class name. So now what will happen? Observe here. So here I will go to this paragraph, I will pass class attribute. So it is a attribute, global attribute guys. Global means you can use inside any tag, right? So class is an attribute which is used to call the classes. So what is my class name here? Fish. I will pass. So save this and go back and reload. Applied red color only to this paragraph. So now same thing I will go here. I will call class. Okay. I will pass here. So class. So I will pass here fish. So observe here. It's applicable. Yes or no? So same thing what I do here, I will go here, I will pass class, okay, I will pass here class, I will pass here fish. So wherever you pass the class is equal to fish, it is applicable. Then that means we are creating a class select here, see p dot fish. Then p is my tag name, fish is my class name, dot indicates, okay, the class selector. So what is the meaning here guys? Apply this background color, okay, to the paragraphs which is having a class called fish. So this fish class is limited only to which tag? Paragraph tag. So now we are writing only one time and we are using multiple times here. See how it's looking simple guys. Then so class selector means what? With the help of class names we have to select the HTML elements and we can avoid the repetition of code. Then so this is about the class selector. So if you observe and see, class selector select HTML elements with a specific class attribute. It is used with a dot symbol. So dot means this one. If you want to select only one specific HTML element, then you should use element name with the class selector. See, I want to select only one paragraph type of elements. I want to apply this class only to the paragraphs. I'll go with, okay, this class selector. So this is the element name. So dot indicates class. This is a class name, btn is my class name. So this is color is CSS property and blue is my value. Then guys, so this is about class selector guys. Now we will see something called, see guys, which tag I am using? P, paragraph tag. That means this class is limited only to, okay, paragraph tag. So now if I call inside h1 tag, see, I will call class, okay, fish if I pass. So observe Angular 2 of h1 tag here in my browser. If I reload, is it applicable? No, the class is not applicable. So what I should do? Again you should create a class with h1 tag, h1 dot, okay, I'll use fish1. So class name should not be same guys, you should change fish1 background color, okay, background color red. So now here I will go, I will make this as fish1. So save this So observe here, reload the page, see apply. So similarly you can call for this h1 also class, okay, class. I'll make use of fish1 is my class name. So reload the page. That means, okay, the classes whatever we are creating, it's limited only to the tags which we are using here, right? So now if you observe again the same property we are repeating again. So what we use, guys, we should not repeat, right? So what we do, the class selector we should not use more. So if we use if we use tag name dot class name, it is class selector which is applicable only to the tag which we are using. So I want to make my class as generic. Generic means what? The class should work inside all the tags. So what I do, remove the tag name, don't use the tag name at all, okay? So if we don't use the tag name, only dot and class name, then it will become generic class selector. So when we don't use class name, when we don't use the tag name, directly if we pass the dot and the class name, we call this a generic class selector which works inside all the tags. If you sorry guys, so if you observe here, see, save this, the classes is fish, it's working, right? Yes or no? Fish class is a generic class now, it's working inside paragraph. So now if I go here, if I change the class name to fish for h1 tag also, so it works, guys. See, it works for h1 tag also. Then it's working, right? So we are selecting based on the class name. So if I use inside anchor tag HTML CSS2 class is equal to the fish, if I pass, so save this. So observe here, for this anchor tag also it works. If we don't use the tag name, then it becomes what? Generic class selector. We can use this class selector inside all the tags. If you use any tag name here, guys, for example, if I use A here, this fish class works only inside, okay, anchor tag. So observe, if you want to see, it works only inside what? Anchor tag. So we should create always generic classes, guys, generic class selectors. So generic class selector means what? No tag name, just dot and the class name. Generic class selector means what? It works inside all the tags, guys. So I hope you understand. So the same thing I have explained in the PPTC. Any number of elements you can pass. If you remove this, it becomes what type of selector? Generic class selector. Okay. See, there is nothing. It becomes what? Generic class selector. Please go through this once. So I hope you understand what is the difference between class and generic class selector, right? So similarly, guys, so if you observe the syntax of generic class selector, see, so we are not using anything here, just we are using dot the class name. The syntax is for ID selector, the syntax is same, guys. See, instead of dot we are using hash. Hash means what? It indicates ID. So hash ID name we should pass. So ID selector selects elements with a specific ID attribute. It is used with a hash symbol, right? So if an HTML element is having both class and ID selector, then the first preference will be given to ID selector. So now what is happening here? Observe here. See, whenever we have, see, the ID selector, it works similar to your generic class selector. Similar to means you can use this ID selector inside all the tags. For example, observe here, guys. For example, okay, let me go to, so code, I will create hash, okay, hash. So I will pass here mango as my ID name. So here I will pass color, text color I am using, guys, text color green I am passing. Okay, so text color green I am passing. So see, instead of dot we are using hash. Dot means generic class selector, hash means ID selector. The working of both generic class selector and ID selector is same. Same means what? You can use inside all the tags. So now observe here, I will call this inside angular 1 with the help of ID. How I am calling? With the help of ID. ID is equal to mango I am calling. So save this, observe angular 1, the color will be changed here for angular 1. See, the color is changed to what? Green. Yes or no?
the color is changed to what? Green here, right? So similarly guys, okay, if I call, so inside JavaScript 5 I will pass id is equal to, you should use id guys, id is equal to mango is the id name. So save this, and if you observe JavaScript, okay, see the color is changed here, okay, the color is changed. That means you can use this, okay, inside all the tags. It's same as generic class selector, but what is the difference here guys? Observe here. See, for Angular 2 already I have passed, okay, generic class selector. Along with that I will pass id selector, okay, id selector, and here I will pass, okay, mango id name. So if you observe, see here, so the color is, okay, green here. Background color, it is applicable from the generic class selector, and the text color, it is applicable from the, okay, id selector. Now observe here. So here I will apply background color, okay, background color. I will make this as background color to hot pink guys. So if you observe guys, our generic class selector is also having background color property, and our id selector is also having background color property. That means both the selectors is having one common property, that is background color. Now if you observe here, for Angular 2 h1 tag I am passing both id selector and class selector, okay. So the working of id selector and generic class selector is same. What is the difference I am explaining here, okay? So when you pass both id selector and class selector to the same tag, okay, so if the properties are common in both the selectors, for example background color is common, then the first preference will be given to, okay, the id selectors property. Then, so now if you observe here, we are passing both the selectors to the Angular 2. If you reload the page, the red color will not be applicable. See, the pink color is applied here. Yes or no? The pink color is applied for this. Yes, so observe here, clearly observe everyone, the pink color is applied. Yes or no? So pink color applied, not, okay, green color. For example, if I pass something here, okay, so font family Algerian, font family, okay, so here I pass Algerian. So if I pass Algerian guys, there is a common property, what? Background color. It overrides, id selector overrides the common property of generic class selector. So font family it will take from, okay, generic class selector. See, font family applied, but background color it's changed, okay, background color is changed because it is giving first preference to this one. So always remember guys, in IT industry we use generic class selector. Which one we use more? Generic class selector. You should always create generic class selector, you should not create any other selector more. So based on the requirement we can use other selectors, but always we prefer what? Generic class selector. So id selector only in some scenarios to override the properties of, okay, generic class selector we use. So please go through this slide once of id selector. See, this is the id name, this indicates the id, and this is color is the css property, and this is the value. The same thing, see, if an HTML element is having both class and id selector, the first preference will be given to id selector. Then, so I hope you guys understood, right? So last one guys, we have something called a universal selector. So here star, see, universal selector is used to select all the elements irrespective of tag names, class name. See guys, it selects everything guys. See, star means everything. We don't use this at all, just it's a part of selector I am explaining. So if you want, observe here, okay. So let me delete all this stuff here. So I removed all the selectors from the CSS file. So if I remove, see, the no effect will be there. So everything is like this. So even you are passing the classes and IDs, it will not affect. Why means in CSS well we don't have any classes and IDs selector. Right. So now if I use star, observe here star, okay, here I will pass color, orange. So what will happen, observe here. So irrespective of tag names, it will apply color orange to all the tags. See, so it is applicable to all the tags. Done. So we don't use this more, don't practice also, but you practice rest of the selectors like element, group, and generic class selector and class selector more. Okay, so I hope everyone understood this. So let me explain one small example, guys, on the selectors. So I'll go here, so I'll delete this, so I will have, I'm passing on h1 tag, so h1, so here I'll pass Java script. Okay, JavaScript I'll pass, then I'll pass here some paragraph tag. Okay, so here I'll pass Angular. So save this and reload the page, guys. Reload the page. This is my output, guys. Done. So now see, if I save this, see, this is a normal color. So now I will create some dot. Okay, so txt. Okay, txt txt properties. So just I am passing txtp is my class. So it is my class name, txt text p. So it's generic class selector, we can use inside all the tags. Done. So now text p means text properties, guys. So let me pass here some color property. So color, I'll make this as red. Okay, then I will pass here color, then I'll make this as green color. Done. So next here I'll pass something called font size, guys. So font size I will pass here, size is equal to 50px. Okay, then I will pass here something called font family. Okay, font family, I'll make this as Algerian. Okay, Algerian. So then I will pass here font. Okay, style is equal to, I'll make this as italic. So it is having some properties, guys. Similarly, I'll create one more class, dot txt or else bg. Okay, p, that means background properties. Class name is what? So valid class name. So by seeing the class name, you should understand why we are using this. See, text p means text properties. So you can give whatever the name you want, guys. So here I'll pass something called background. Okay, color. So now, guys, to the h1 tag, okay, background color, and I'll pass here something called or else just I will pass here, I don't want, I'll make this as a txt okay, text shadow. Okay, I'll use the class name as what? Text shadow. Done. So here I'll use something called text shadow property, text shadow. Okay, so is equal to, I'll make this as 3px. Okay, so 2px blur ratio, and here I will pass okay, I explained in the last session this one. Okay, so I'll make this as a red color shadow. So let me call this text p class. Okay, to this h1 tag or else to this Angular. See, class, I will paste this text p. So if you observe here, see, it's applied, yes or no? Color, font size, okay, italic, family, font family, everything applied. So now for this one I want to call this text shadow class, this. So for this one I want to call this text shadow class. So here I'll class attribute. So here I'll use what? Class attribute. I'll pass text shadow. So it is going to apply shadow to the text, yes or no? So similarly, guys, I want to apply the same properties. See, already we have called one class here, text shadow class. Now along with this text shadow, I want to apply these properties also, guys, to the same tag. So what is the class name here? Text p, right? So how to call multiple classes inside a single tag? See, just provide a space. Okay, space indicates dividing of classes. Text shadow is one class, I am passing text p another class. So save this. What will happen now? It is going to apply properties from this selector as well as this selector. So if you observe here, see, reload the page. See how it's applying? It's applying properties from both the classes. Okay, so if you want, if we see, this is the advantage of selector guys. If we select generic class selector, you can use inside multiple tags. Already the code is present. Instead of adding new properties to this selector, already it is present in another selector. Directly we can use this. So how to pass multiple classes? With the help of just a space. You can provide the space, you can add. So some more properties, see, you can pass n number of classes just by providing the space guys. Done. So let me save this, okay, and this is my output guys. So this is about selectors guys. So remember how to pass multiple classes to a single tag with the help of space. You can pass any number of classes guys. So please practice guys, very important concept and one of the interview question. So I hope everyone understood. Watch the video again and again until and unless you perfect guys. So we will meet in next session. Thank you guys. So bye bye.